Hey there, folks. This is Chad with Flypt FPV. And if you watched the last video before this one, you may remember there was a point where a short period where the Moonlight kit drone that I had, F-Bomb, was out of service due to motors and went through a whole ordeal there. And the only 5-inch I had to fly was the original analog build that I did, which is Yo Mamba. It has a diatone Mamba system in it. Works good. It's just analog, and it was the first drone I ever built. And since it was the only 5-inch I had operational, I recorded stuff while just messing around and put this video together for you guys. Nothing special. Um, like I said, I'm just practicing at this hobby, trying to put stuff together and get better at it. I watch stuff like Bot Grinder and Vegan FPV and Ken Heron, all the people that do stuff, that do live streams and put these videos together. I have to say kudos to them, because it's a lot harder than it looks. You don't realize it until how much you don't know until you try to do it. And it's an effort. You got to have an imagination and how to put things together and build a storyline before you even record, so you have something in mind when you do it. And I'm nowhere near that yet. So I'm just practicing flying. I've only been doing this for a couple months, and I'm getting better. I still don't have all the tricks down, and getting to where I can control the drone, put it where I want it to, and even that is getting better and smoother the more I do it, flying in a simulator, which I haven't been able to do for a couple months because my computer's been a little weird, and I've got a lot of other stuff on my plate. But it is summertime now, so I'm putting some of this stuff together. Got a little bit of time here on my hands, and figured I'd share this stuff with you, as I said I would in the last video. Whoops. I can't imagine I'd ever hit the ground with this drone. It has been into the ground so many times. And typically when I'm trying to learn something new or do tricks, this is the one I use, because it's not quite as valuable as the Moonlight kit. They're a little more expensive. I can replace analog stuff a little easier. But it's still the original drone that I had, so I don't want to crash it and break it. It's got a little sentimental value, and it does fly pretty good. The diatone Mamba hardware is tough to beat. This is some old school stuff, but a friend of mine that I work with got me some parts so I could get going into this stuff. I was getting interested in it and put this thing together. Bought a aftermarket frame for like $30 and put it all on there, and watched a whole bunch of Bardwell videos and learned how to program it and get it set up to where I could fly it and mess with the rates and get it to where I can actually get it moving around the yard. I don't take it out much. I do a lot of practice in the yard, as you've probably seen on these videos. And that's all I do, is every day after work, when the weather's permitting. It's a good stress relief after all the things that I have to put up with, people, issues, the fun stuff that brings my fuse closer and closer to the end. This is how I get away from it. Just up flipping around. Dodging trees. Don't hit that one. Spin around. Surely we can flip over something here. Now let's just fly in circles in the field. How exciting. Oh, little cut. Got to be breaking into something now. Up and over the catalpa. And you got to aim straight for the pool just because. Watch out for that branch. Split S. Whee. Down the path. Hit it. I've actually gotten better since flying this one and figured out how to control and eject and actually pick up some speed. My camera angle is pretty low on this one due to the fact it's what I had learned to fly acro in, so I had the camera angle pretty low, trying to keep the speed down so I didn't really tear stuff up when I crashed it. I have experimented and cranked the camera angle up on it since, and it's hard to get used to going from one angle to another, but it definitely, you can tell the difference in the physics, the way the drone reacts when your camera angle's up, the rate of speed that you're traveling. Your reaction time is a lot less, but it's easier to maneuver. Practice a little power loop. It'd be nice to have something to do that in proximity with, that I felt comfortable going around, so I could get that throttle control down to figure out how high up I'm going, how far back I'm going. And it's pretty easy in the simulator. I've gotten pretty good at it, but then you go out and fly in a drone in real life and it's a little different. You understand nothing when you're looking at the sky, there's nothing to judge your distance off of. It'd probably be easier to do next to a building or even that line of trees if I would get comfortable enough to be close enough to it where I could use the peripheral to see my elevation and how fast I'm traveling backwards, how close to the ground I am before, so I can flip over before I hit it. But this is all in the line of learning. That's the best way to do it, is stay in the sticks, get the muscle memory built. And whether I get good at it, I mean, I can work on pretty much anything, build stuff, program it, learn it, figure it out. But when it comes to actually flying, I'm not good at anything. Nothing comes natural. I have to work at it and work at it and work at it. You know, I've seen some of these people that, oh, I've been flying for 6 months and they're doing high-speed rewinds and all kinds of crazy stuff that I can't even, flying S-bang style, and it's just, wow. I wish I could do that stuff, but not there yet. Maybe someday, after hours and hours and hours and hours of practice. Just like this. I mean, just having the goggles on, flying around, helps you create muscle memory for throttle control. Just like orbiting like this, getting the feel for the weight of the drone, how to control the momentum, getting the pitch and yaw correct, and spinning around something and trying to make it steady. It's not easy. I know I was shocked after watching video after video of how to do this and practice doing this, and they show you how to do it. They don't tell you that they've been doing it for years and they're professional pilots. You know, when you get in the sticks after being on a simulator, it's like, oh, I'm not a professional. I can't keep this thing off of the ground. But I'm getting to where I can. It just takes practice, and I'm here to tell you, it still hits the ground every once in a while. Or tree, or branch, or end up in a puddle, or in a pond. So I got one coming up about that too. I'd already recorded this video, but I'm doing the voiceover on it after the trip we took to Alabama, and there's the video coming up that covers some of that stuff, and there's some footage in there of where I lost my GoFilm 20 from Cadix FPV. It's just a tiny little drone. It isn't cheap. It's got the Moonlight kit on it also. It's HD, flies good, just a little 2-inch drone. But I have it tuned totally different to where it's good for nice flowy cinematic slow stuff. It still does a little ripping. I've done some stuff on it that I probably shouldn't have, and I've since replaced it. So the stuff that I'm doing with it now, and that's where I gotta lock my mentality. 5 inches for freestyle, tiny whoops are for playing, but the Go Film 20 is smooth and slow. As I get out there and try and do a split ass over a tree, and it'll do it. It gets a lot of prop wash, and if you don't fly it right, it shakes all over the place. Susceptible to wind, but it's a good little drone, and it's got a darn good camera on it. I like the Caddx FPV cameras. They do quite well. It's not a DJI 04, but I steer away from the DJI stuff just for price and availability, things that make it complicated. Have a couple friends that I fly with that have DJI stuff, and it just seems like they're always fighting compatibility with this and that. Not that it can't be figured out, and I know there's people that do it every day. I'm sticking with the ELRS, and I've gotten a lot of Caddx FPV stuff lined up, and I'm trying to stay consistent with the equipment I have, so I spend less time figuring stuff out when I do break stuff and just putting it back together, fixing it, and flying more. A meathead standing out in the middle of the field flying a drone right at his head. Don't mess that one up. That would hurt. Up and over the tree again. Oh, look, there's pull. No swimming. I've had enough of that. Probably ought to not be flying around and picking those sticks up. It's just too much fun. And it looks terrible with no leaves. I mean, it's right at the beginning of spring when I was doing this flying, but I can't wait at this point for the leaves to come out, fill in the trees to where you can see some gaps and things like that. Makes it easier to not run into branches and stuff. And that's about it. Flipping around the field. Hope you guys can't hear the lawnmower running in the background. That'd probably be annoying. Not that this music isn't annoying anyway. You know, copyright free stuff. What do you do? Can't believe watching this video and doing this voiceover, the difference it's made just since I put this together and what I'm doing now. Hell, the garden's done, got stuff growing, the trees are filled out. I've recorded so much more video since I put this together. I'm just trying to do a voiceover now and get it out to you guys because I've been too busy to do it. I actually had about 20 minutes to sit here and go through this and get this put on there. And if you've stuck around this long, congratulations. And thank you. It looks like there's about 3 minutes left, not quite. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I mean, you see my struggles, and I hope that seeing this, somebody sees it and understands that not everybody's a professional pilot. You got to start somewhere. And when you've only been flying for a couple months, you're not going to do some of the crazy stuff that Mr. Steele does. He's unbelievably impressive. If you think it was El Gringo I was watching, he's one I was referring to earlier. He'd been flying for a few months and is like a professional. Not this guy, but getting better. Spend time in the sim, time in real life. It's all about time. Practice, practice, practice. Muscle memory. Just over and over and over. Well, we're finally getting closer to the end of this thing. It's a little bit long for what it is, but I got the footage, might as well use it. I know they tell you if you're going to do something good, you probably end up cutting half of the stuff out, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not looking to make a professional YouTube channel. I would like to get better at it, but it's just a hobby. I'm flying around, recording it, sharing this stuff. Now, if you guys know how YouTube works, this is a YouTube channel. If you have questions or comments, maybe I can help if you reach out. Feel free to drop a comment, and I do look at it occasionally. I'm not on the social media and have a very extremely busy life, but I get notifications, and if I see it, I definitely will respond. And when I'm in there messing around with this stuff, I'll get back with you. It may not be immediate, but always willing to talk about FPV. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, yell at. This is Chad with Flypt FPV. See you next time.